Welcome to the Mastercam 2019 MilEssentials video training series tutorial number 3. In this tutorial, we will create the top 2D geometry needed to create the toolpaths. Geometry creation commands such as arc polar, circle center point, line tangent at an angle, mirror, arc tangent, ellipse, letters, and translate will be used. We will select a machine definition and set up the stock. A 2D high-speed area mill toolpath will be created to remove the material from the outside step. A 2D high-speed dynamic mill toolpath will be created to remove the outside material. A pocket island facing toolpath will be created to machine the pocket and face the letters. A pocket remachining toolpath will be used to machine the remaining material. Backplot and verify will be used to simulate the tool's movements. Finally, we will post-process the file to obtain an NC file containing the necessary code for the machine. First, we will create two polar arcs. Select wireframe, then click the arrow next to circle edge point and select arc polar. Select the origin. Then change the radius to 5 and press enter. Change the start angle to 0 and the end angle to 90 degrees and press enter. Press OK and create new operation. Select the center point. Change the diameter to 7 and press enter. Change the start angle to 0 and the end angle to 90 degrees and press enter. Press OK to exit the command. We will now create a circle. Select circle center point. Change the radius to 0.375 and press enter. Click on the fast point icon. Enter the coordinates 3.375, 2.125 and press enter. Press OK to exit the command. Select line endpoints. Make sure freeform is selected and tangent is enabled. Change the angle to 180 degrees and press enter. Select the arc, making sure the entire arc is selected and that it's not selecting endpoints or midpoint or anything like that. Sketch approximately here for the second endpoint. Then press OK to exit the command. We will now create a fillet. Select Fillet Entities and enter the radius as 0.75 and press enter. Select this line and then select this arc. Then press OK to exit the command. We will now mirror the geometry about the x-axis. Select Transform, and then select Mirror. Drag a window, making sure it contains all of the geometry, and then click. Press End Selection. Make sure the method is set to copy, and the axis is set to X. Then press OK to exit the command. Right-click in the graphics area and select Clear Colors. We will now create an arc tangent to two entities. Return to Wireframe and select Arc Tangent. Change the method to Arc Two Entities. Change the radius to 5 and press Enter. Select the first entity here, and then select the second entity here. Mastercam will generate all possible entities. Select this one. Then press OK to exit the command. Next, we will trim the geometry. Select Trim Break Extend. Change the method to Trim 3 Entities. The first two entities that we select are trimmed to the third, which acts as a trimming curve. The third entity is then trimmed to the first two. This function is useful for trimming two lines to a circle that is tangent to both lines. The arc is selected as the last entity, and the results vary depending on whether you choose to keep the top or the bottom of the arc. Select the first entity here, select the second entity here, and then select the third entity here. Repeat the process on the bottom. First entity, second entity, third entity. Then press OK to exit the command. We will now mirror the geometry again. Hold down the Shift key on your keyboard and select this entity, and then select this entity. Holding down Shift will select the entire chain. Return to the Transform tab and select Mirror. Then change the axis to Y. Press OK. Right-click in the graphics area and select Clear Colors. Next, we will create an ellipse. Return to Wireframe, and under Rectangle, select Ellipse. Select the origin as the base point. Then, sketch approximately here, and click. Make sure the type is set to NURBS. Set the A radius to 3, and the B radius to 1.5, and press Enter. Then press OK to exit the command. We will now offset the ellipse. Select Transform, and under Offset, select Entity. Select the ellipse, and then click inside it to indicate the offset direction. Make sure Method is set to Copy, Number is set to 1, and the distance is set to 0.25, and press Enter. Press OK to exit the command. Right-click in the graphics area and clear colors. Next, we will add text. First, select Home. And under Wireframe Colors, select Red. Select Wireframe, and then choose Create Letters. For letters, enter Mastercam. Then click on Select True Type Font. Change the font to Times New Roman. Bold. And set the size to 10. Then press OK. Change the height to 0.5 and the spacing to 0.05. Then select a point to the right of the part. Press OK to exit the command. We will now move the letters using Translate. Drag a window around the letters. Then select Transform and click on Translate. Change the method to Move. And then for Vector from to, click on Reselect. Zoom in on the letters. And then select the midpoint. Zoom out. And either select the origin or select Auto Cursor Origin. Press OK to exit the Translate command. Right-click in the graphics area and clear colors. Save your file. Save as. Give it a name. And press Save.